Coming up next on Making Moves, a new report says pedestrians in Florida are more likely to die than in any other state. We'll tell you how Jacksonville fared. Lots of roadway expansion is coming to Jacksonville. Find out when and where. And the JTA continues to make improvements to the Mayport Ferry. I'm Donna Deegan. These stories and more right now on Making Moves. Hello and welcome to Making Moves. I'm Donna Deegan. Coming up, an update on some of the key road construction projects JTA has in the works. We'll also show you some more improvements JTA is making to the Mayport Ferry. But we begin with a new report on pedestrian safety. And the news is not good for Florida. The report, called Dangerous by Design, is compiled by the National Complete Streets Coalition and Smart Growth America. It ranks cities across the nation by a pedestrian death index, or PDI. 9 of the first 11 most dangerous cities on the index are in Florida, including Jacksonville, which ranked 4th overall. That compares to the 2014 report that had only 4 Florida cities among the top 10 and Jacksonville at number 3. But a closer look at the data shows that despite falling 1 spot in the rankings, Jacksonville actually increased its pedestrian death index by 46 points, the worst in the nation. Here's a look at the top 11 worst cities for pedestrians. Fort Myers topped the most dangerous list, followed by Melbourne, Orlando, Jacksonville, Daytona, Lakeland, Tampa, St. Pete, Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, Sarasota, and Miami.
I think it's pretty accurate. I think, we do quite a bit of walking around town sometimes, and we often see, lots of situations can be pretty dangerous, so it doesn't surprise me.
It does seem surprising. There's no ice, there's no snow. Weather's usually pretty good.
Like I said, the traffic here is just not it's not that bad, so I wouldn't expect that or expect to hear that information.
There's texting, there's talking on the phone, they're probably eating. I mean, I've drove myself, and I know sometimes you could do those things, and just in a second you could hit somebody, or bicycle rider or something. I ride my bike also, so I'm always aware of that. Also scared, while I'm on the street, I'm like, somebody could hit me. You never know.
I play golf, and most golf courses you have to cross over a road that cars are using. And the expectation is that if you're a golfer, they'll stop for you, but nobody stops for you. So I sort of adopt that in my daily life, which is assume they won't stop for you.
People nowadays are more prone to being on the phone. They are more prone to texting and just totally obsolete anything else. That's all they focused on, cell phone. They're texting, they're messaging, and by doing so, they do not pay attention to pedestrians or bicyclists or even motorists, period.
So the question is, what is being done here in Jacksonville to find a solution to this problem? Well, JTA's Complete Streets is one of the local programs tackling the pedestrian dangers issue by making critical infrastructure improvements.
Complete Streets, because it designs for all users of the roadway, will help make those places where pedestrians and motorists could conflict with one another, it makes them safer. It redesigns crossings so the crossings are shorter. It narrows travel lanes so motorists will slow down. It makes sure that the roadways are designed so that everybody is visible and they know what to expect. There's better lighting.
Chris Ledoux is an engineering project manager for JTA who specializes in safety issues. Ledoux says pedestrian dangers began to grow steadily after World War II, when cities in the South were being designed around the automobile and without much thought to pedestrians or bicyclists.
After World War II, America had more cars on the road. There were more people driving, And that created a desire to live in the suburban areas. So the suburbs grew, but oftentimes they didn't have the sidewalks that you would find in a more dense urban area. And that promoted higher speeds, people driving at higher speeds, and less walking and biking.
Ledoux said it also explains why many of the cities named as safest for pedestrians are located in the Northeast and Northwest portions of the country. Places like Portland, Boston, Seattle, Pittsburgh, and New York City. But new standards being implemented by JTA and others could improve Jacksonville's status on this dubious list. Nearly every new roadway being designed and constructed by the JTA comes complete with sidewalks and bike lanes for added safety. In early 2016, before taking over full operation of the St. Johns River Ferry, the JTA completed an overhaul of the boat, phase 1 of the slip wall replacement, and began improving the grounds at the ferry landing. Last month, the ferry came out of the water again so the authority could complete the final phase of the slip wall replacement. The ferry runs 7 days a week between the village of Mayport and St. George Island. To learn more about the ferry, go to ferry.jtafla.com. As many of you may know, the Jacksonville Transportation Authority actually started out building roads and bridges back in 1955 as the Jacksonville Expressway Authority. More than 60 years later, JTA is still building things. Several key projects are either underway or about to start, including the new Regional Transportation Center in La Villa. With more on JTA's construction plans, let's send it over to Terry Casey, who is with JTA Vice President Carter Rohan.
Thanks, Donna. And Carter, the first thing I want to do is welcome you to Making Moves. It's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate your invitation.
You're the Vice President of Construction and Capital Programs for the JTA. Would you please explain what that entails?
Certainly. I lead a team of project managers and program managers that manage the projects that are in our capital plan. They manage the design consultants, the engineering consultants, as well as the contractors. And our mandate is to ensure that the authority gets its projects to the highest quality that can be expected within schedule and within budget.
That fits right into the JTA fold of things, the high quality aspect of it, and of course the leadership. Now, you're also fairly new to the agency, and I understand that you have covered some of the same areas or the same ground as has CEO Nat Ford. So would you tell me a little bit about your background?
I've been here a long 4 months now, getting to know the agency or the authority and the people, and I'm loving this authority. My experience is I'm a registered architect. I'm an architect that's gotten into program management and construction management. I have an expertise of managing major capital programs, and that transcends beyond transportation. I, in my career, have managed programs such as the Command and Operations Center program within Saudi Arabia for the Saudi military. I have been part of the construction and design team building the superconducting supercollider in Dallas, Texas area. And I joined transportation when I moved into the Atlanta area to work for the Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority for their push for the Olympics. I was the project manager for the first compressed natural gas bus facility on the eastern coast and for MARTA. That's where my association with Mr. Ford started. Mr. Ford and I worked alongside each other. I was a consultant to him at the time, and he pulled me into the fold, started me as his director of project management, and we started managing the North Line extension, the rail extension. I managed the Sandy Springs station construction, managed the track work renovation program, and also he asked me to focus on the Armour Yard rail maintenance and service facility, which was struggling at the time. And at the time, right before I was leaving, we turned in the project, saving $9 million.
Oh, saving $9 million?
Absolutely. Wow. And I can say that that accomplishment is directly associated with Mr. Ford as a leader. How he leads, how he makes decisions, how he very directly approaches the work and the people that work for him. And it gave me a taste for working for a true leader.
What I'd like to do now is transition to some of the projects that
Okay.
are coming down the pipeline for the JTA right now. And I would think probably the biggest one, and the one that has garnered so far anyway the most attention, would be the new Greyhound building, as well as the transit center that is just west of downtown Jacksonville. So what can you tell me about that project? What you see ahead, where it is now, how long, et cetera?
The JRTC, which is the Jacksonville Regional Transportation Center, is a concept developed by the JTA to centralize multimodal functions of transportation and to create one regional transportation center within the downtown of Jacksonville. The initiative includes the facilities, administrative facilities, approximately 40,000 square feet to be designed for JTA administration. It includes a bus transfer facility for all of the JTA's network of bus lines. It will be the hub for the new Flyer program, the bus rapid transit program. It will be Skyway stop at the Convention Center station. And we have partnered with Greyhound to build them a facility for their intercity bus terminal. Now, all of this is being constructed as a partnership, and it's being done in 2 phases. Our initial phase is to begin construction very shortly. At the end of this month, we will be starting construction on the intercity bus terminal for Greyhound, and it's got a very short timeline. It's about 9,600 square feet, and we intend to complete that facility in January of 2018. So a very short timeline. The designer that designed that facility is continuing to work on the design for the remainder of the complex, and their designs will progress to completion in May of this year, and phase 2 construction then will start on the remainder of the facility in May-June timeframe, with a completion schedule for September of 2019.
Now, the JTA admin building there's something very fascinating and, to me, bordering on spectacular in the way that that's going to go up and around the Skyway. How is that going to work? And I know you can be perhaps elaborate a little more on what I just threw out there for you.
Well, normally when you build facilities or build infrastructure that intermingles with operating systems, normally it's a very complex job. The way that the existing convention center station is situated within the Skyway, elevated, separated from traffic, is going to make our life a lot more easy in constructing the facility, because what we're doing is we're taking the intercity bus terminal and we're building that away from the Skyway at the east, I believe it's the easternmost corner of the site. And then we will be constructing a 4-story high-rise facility for JTA with views of downtown right outside of the Convention Center station. So really in construction lingo, it's not that difficult. It's very easy. We will continue to operate the Skyway during the construction, and there will only be a very short period of time where we will shut down and integrate into the station and the Skyway.
It's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be beautiful, and as you say, iconic. Now, I know that you've also got a few road projects underway, that some of which have already gotten started and others that are soon to be started. Now, this includes a couple of 2 very important north-south corridors in the Intracoastal West area of the city. And why don't we start with Girvin Road? That's one of them. What are you doing about Girvin? What's going to happen?
Well, first of all, let me say JTA has a program that's called JTA Mobility Works program. And in that program, that initiative, we are focusing on renovating, restructuring, and rebuilding 13 corridors within the city, and that will include mobility works in areas around the city as well. Girvin Road is one of the key priorities, and it's the first program to go into construction under my watch. Currently, we're doing earthworks at Dry Pond. We're moving waterline utilities, we're moving utility poles, getting ready for the roadway construction. Now that roadway construction is going to start very quickly. And the roadway construction will entail taking the section of Girvan Road between Atlantic and Wonderwood and redesigning and reconstructing the lanes, medians. We will have landscape medians, it will have bike lanes, curb and gutter, and sidewalks. Now the section between Atlantic and I believe it's Ashley Malice will end up having a reconstructed 5-lane configuration. And then the section from Ashley Malice to Wonderwood will have a reconstructed 3-lane configuration. And the construction end date planned for all of that work is June of 2018.
Anybody who drives in the Argyle area is going to be interested in this one, so listen up. The area, unfortunately, is notorious for traffic congestion and traffic accidents. So I'm sure that anybody, like I said, anybody out there is going to, well, this in short will be a welcome relief for them. So what does this entail? What can they expect?
Okay, Collins Road is a corridor that we're looking at from Old Middleburg to Rampart, and it runs through districts 9, 12, and 14. And the Collins Road has been sorely in need of a revamping for many years. Traffic snarls, traffic throughput needs to be generated and designed to where it can accommodate the flows of traffic that we're currently experiencing. Now on Collins Road, we will be redesigning to very similar scope to the other two projects, central medians, landscaped, bike lanes, curb and gutter, sidewalks, but it will also include a closed drainage system which will accommodate the public and throughput quite a bit more. It's the urban section design that will improve that area immensely. The design of Collins Road is right behind Kernan Road. We're probably going to complete around the 20th of February, and we're going to go right into construction late spring, and we're trying to schedule that completion in late spring 2019 as well.
You've got a lot that you're working on currently, a lot coming down the line, as you've already explained, and Carter Rohan, thank you for going through all that, for giving us and sharing all that information of things that are happening in Jacksonville. And you've got an open invitation to come back and update our viewers and keep them updated with all these projects and the ones that, some of which we've already touched on. So we'll look forward to that, okay?
It'll be my pleasure.
Well, Donna, that's it for now. Back to you.
And to think that's just a sample of the projects JTA is working on. Sounds like Carter will be very busy. Terry Casey and Carter Rohan, thank you both very much. Next up, Bill Milnes takes us to the site of the new Regional Transportation Center everyone is talking about to show us how all the pieces will fit together. So don't go away.
The Donna is the only marathon in the U.S. dedicated to finished breast cancer. Since the inaugural year of the race in 2008, the Donna Foundation has dispersed more than $4.5 million of race proceeds to fund breast cancer research and to support families living with breast cancer.
The science has been developing rapidly at Mayo, thanks to this sea of pink.
We're 10 years closer to the finish now, and we can't wait to cross that line.
Don't be a distracted driving casualty. Keep your cell phone in your pocket.
Jacksonville's La Villa neighborhood has a rich history, but it's been decades since its heyday. Well, everything there is about to dramatically change. 2 new housing developments are being built in the neighborhood, one for seniors and one aimed at those just getting started in the workforce. But the most prominent change will come across the street from the Prime Osborne Convention Center, where the JTA's new Regional Transportation Center and intercity bus terminal will be built. Making Moves chief correspondent Bill Milnes visited the site with members of the design team to find out how all the pieces of this project will fit together and when it will be ready.
If you take the Forsyth exit from Interstate 95 heading into downtown, you'll see the Prime Osborne Convention Center, a Skyway station, a bunch of parking lots, and not much else. That view is about to substantially change. First, with a new intercity bus terminal for Greyhound, then the new JTA bus terminal, and a new curved, modern 4-story headquarters building for the authority.
We wanted this to be a catalyst for development for the La Villa neighborhood, and really it's the western boundary of downtown. And so as you're coming in off of 95, as you're driving on 95, you actually see this building. If you could imagine, this building is going to be up above us. So the first floor really starts 24 feet above where we're standing right now. And so if you go up 4 floors, you're going to have great vistas in both directions. You'll be very highly visible.
The new JTA building was designed to incorporate the current Skyway station.
You will find that the building actually will cross over top of the Skyway station here. So you'll see the Skyway train almost coming into the building, which will be a pretty cool effect.
Directly behind the new JTA building will be the new JTA bus terminal, with lots of technology and, most importantly, a new, safer design.
Well, currently you have multiple bus lanes where the buses cross essentially the pedestrian path. So if my bus is number 14 at the Rosa Parks facility, I have to cross 3 to 4 bus travel lanes, which really is not the best scenario for the pedestrian. Here, there is no crossing of any of the bus lanes. The buses come in, come around in a clockwise direction.
An elevated, covered pedestrian bridge will connect the 2 new JTA buildings with the new Greyhound station across the street.
The pedestrian bridge will come over from the intercity bus terminal at a higher level. So basically the level at the Skyway is sitting now. And what we've done is we've designed an open plaza around that to really have a more public space, a level above ground. And that'll have more freedom back and forth between the admin building and the Skyway station.
Construction on the Greyhound station begins in mid-February and will take about a year to complete. Meanwhile, construction on the new JTA bus terminal and administration buildings will commence this summer, with a completion date planned for October 2019. In La Villa, Bill Milnes, JTA, Making Moves.
With final design underway on the Regional Transportation Center, the JTA took its plans to the community, holding a public meeting at FSCJ's downtown campus. It was a chance for the public to see how the new bus terminal will work in comparison to the current Rosa Parks station, and how all of the transit modes will interact. We caught up with some of the folks in attendance to get their reaction to what they saw and heard.
There actually is. There's a pedestrian signal.
Public meetings are an important way for the JTA to stay transparent, letting the community see for themselves exactly what the authority is planning, be it a new transit route, a new road, or in this case, a new transportation center. It's also a way for the public to provide its feedback on the project. The La Villa project, with its new Greyhound station, JTA bus terminal, and a new headquarters for the authority, was no exception.
I'm really excited for all of the public transit and JTA to be kind of headquartered in one place in downtown. It's really exciting, and I feel like the circulation really works well, right? You're going to have, the Skyway meeting up with the Greyhound buses, meeting up with the BRT and the First Coast Flyer. So it's really great to have that nexus of transportation where the kind of the whole city of Jacksonville and North Florida really is going to be here in downtown and kind of connecting. I mean, that's going to be so valuable for our city going forward, where you can put all that together.
It's about time something modern come to downtown as far as transportation, and the fact that you will be running all the transportation out of there. People come in on the Greyhound buses, they'll be able to get a cab right there or whatever transportation they need. That's a very good concept.
With animated videos and artist renderings of the project on display, visitors got a first-hand look at what the final project would look like. But one group of interested citizens got a completely different perspective.
So they got the whole thing's covered. All things covered. Down this way. This is the end of the bus platform. Okay. All around this is busway. Mm-hmm. So you got buses on each side. On each side. Here and here. Yes. And then there, so that way you don't have to go across to get, you know, and cross in front of a bus or something. Right. Gotcha. All right. So
Using a model of the site plan, a small group of blind residents got a real hands-on view to better understand how the various pieces of the project will all come together.
my initial thought is that if we see it constructed the way it comes across to me, it's going to be awesome. It's so much better than what we ever had in the past here in Jacksonville. It's going to be much easier to get around in, both for the general public and for people with disabilities. I mean, they've taken every possible thought process that they can come up with to try to make it as accessible as possible for everybody, and it's just going to be awesome.
Overall reaction to the project plans were positive, most seeing it as a benefit to transit users. But according to Jake Gordon, the director of Downtown Vision, the location is the perfect spot to not only help the La Villa neighborhood, but expand the downtown core.
I think some of the stakeholders thought, well, why aren't you putting it closer to the middle of downtown where we kind of perceive the core to be? But I think this is great because it's kind of like anticipates the build out of downtown and the expansion of downtown. And from a circulation perspective with the transportation, it's in the perfect spot, right over from Brooklyn and then right on the edge and close to 95. You know, the idea would be that this is being built anticipating, being around for 50, 100 years. I mean, and the La Villa neighborhood becomes very important on that.
In La Villa, Stacey Ellison, JTA Making Moves.
The JTA's award-winning diversity program is at it again. Throughout the month of February, the authority will be celebrating diversity awareness, and this year, it wants you to be involved. Here's how.
You can join the JTA in recognizing diversity and maybe win a prize pack. All you need to do is take a selfie at one of the designated bus shelters around the city that feature prominent people in history. We put a list on the JTA website to make it easier for you. Once you take a selfie with one of the history makers, remember to add #JTA Diversity. Then each Friday in February, the JTA will randomly select 20 winners from the posting group. It's that simple. Remember, selfie, #JTA Diversity, post it on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. The more you post, the better chances you have to win. Celebrate diversity with JTA, and maybe, just maybe, you'll win a great prize. We'll be watching for you.
Finally, this reminder, Sunday, February 12th, is the 10th anniversary of the 26.2 with Donna, the National Marathon to Finish Breast Cancer. Once again this year, the JTA Beaches Trolley will be running along A1A to shuttle race watchers along the course and help you keep track of your favorite runners. Unlimited ride race day tickets are available on the My JTA app for only $4. The app is free and it's available in both the Apple and Android app stores. We will see you at the race. And that wraps up this episode of Making Moves. We thank you for taking some time to join us. Remember, you can check out past episodes anytime on JTAFLA.com. You can also find stories and other exclusive content when you like our Facebook page at facebook.com/JTA Making Moves. For everyone here at Making Moves, I'm Donna Deegan. We'll see you next time we're making moves.